Hi guys!
Hi, babe.
Feel like I'm just meant to do these solo videos. Invited a friend of mine for a video. She's like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna be there. We're gonna do this. It's gonna be popping. It's gonna be vibe. It's gonna be fun. Didn't happen. She was busy. Yeah, let's do this. Hello, it's me.
Hello, it's me.
Welcome back. My name is Dinel Makwesera, and welcome back to my YouTube channel where I just do I don't know what I'm doing, guys. Things that are normal in Zimbabwe that could be not normal in other countries. I've never left Zimbabwe, by the way. My cousin that lives in Australia, whenever she comes here, she just mentions things that are weird that we do. And in my head, I'm like, oh, please. I'm just gonna mention things that are normal here in Zimbabwe, and then if you're not from Zim and you wanna visit them, you gotta be ready for these things, okay? Shaving our head. Guys, it's normal, okay? Seeing bald women in Zimbabwe is very normal. I used to cut my hair. Actually, most of the schools when I was growing up, primary schools, it was mandatory for us to cut our hair. Our teachers say they want us to focus on our hair because they thought that if we could plait and our hair is long, we'd start comparing ourselves like, oh, my hair is longer than hers, and other people were not able to afford their hair, to pay for their hair, to get their hair done. So it was easier for us to just have uniform hair, like cut your hair, whether you can afford to get a hairdresser or not, whether your hair grows bigger than someone else's. No one cares. Cut that hair. Very normal, actually. It's still normal up until now. My old primary school, I heard that they're able to plait their hair. And in my head, I'm like, no, they're not supposed to plait their hair. They're supposed to go through the trauma that we went through. So the teachers passed on their trauma of cutting their hair onto us, just like how I feel like my old school should continue the tradition. That trauma needs to be brought down. This is long division, Baba. I watched the Not Sorry podcast, and they were like, oh, yeah, other schools where they have to cut their hair. And they were so shocked. And in my head, I'm like, it's normal, guys, relax. Another thing that is very normal in Zimbabwe is houses with asbestos. Not really a big deal. If you have a ceiling, oh, that's great. But then most of the houses don't have ceiling, and it's not really a wow thing, you know? I think having a ceiling is more of like a privilege in Zimbabwe. A normal house doesn't have a ceiling. We're cool with that. We don't care about it, actually. Ceiling or no ceiling, a home is a home. You know what I'm saying? So asbestos are very common. Not having a geyser is very common in Zimbabwe. Yeah, discipline. Things are changing, but then when I was growing up, we used to get beat. I'm not talking about discipline as in, oh, what do they call it? Detention. What the heck is detention? We were punished. We used to get beat. They used to beat us with, like, you all know a horse pipe? They used to beat us with that. It's very normal for kids to get disciplined in school. And they also used to hit us with a duster. They would say, do this. Yo, guys, school was hard. I guess this is why we used to pass, because school was hard. You do anything to make sure that you don't get beat. So discipline in school was very normal. It still is normal, actually, in Zimbabwe. Potholes, bad roads, very normal. Other places they have good roads. I love that for them. But then we have bad roads, man. What's shocking is finding a good road. And it's not because the government is not doing enough. The government is doing enough, but then we have so many roads. And I don't know what happens, man. A lot happens. It's just not a government issue. It's just we have bad roads. And it's normal. Another thing that is very common in Zimbabwe is expensive phones. We have expensive phones, but then we don't have jobs. My job and the phone that I use, it's not make sure it's not making sense. You have expensive phones, iPhones. You can have the whole Apple ecosystem, but then you do not have a stable income. Actually, you might have an expensive phone, but then you don't have a car. You don't buy groceries. Your clothes are not making any sense. The only thing that we actually invest in is phones. Yeah, if you don't have an iPhone with an island, bro, what the heck? We're judging you. Last thing that is very common in Zimbabwe that might not be common in other countries is the begging culture. We love begging. Privileged enough to be a presenter for the Junior Parliament 2026 right here in Zimbabwe. And there's a kid that was asking for iPhones. Mind you, they were given phones, but then he was like, we need iPhone 17s because we need better phones for picture quality. I don't know what he wants to do with the iPhone 17. I'm not the only person. There are so many people in Zimbabwe that keep on begging. They're always asking Wignal Chivai for something. Actually, when my other mom, my aunt, saw me on TV. She was like, next time when you're sitting, with these big people, make sure that Chivayo is next to you so that you ask for something. Begging culture is so common. We love asking for things. If things don't go well, we are so quick to blame the government, teachers, the system, culture, are just beggars. You know what I mean? So yeah, guys, this is the end of the video. These are my personal opinions, by the way. If you don't agree with one or all of them, honey, go fight the war. This is what I think. I hope you liked and enjoyed the video. Please subscribe for more. I'm a fun person. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I said things I really do when you go listen to my songs. Hey, all the time it's a vibe. Things I really do when you